Hey everyone, Theo here, aka Parker, back on the Urban Sketches channel, and today I'm reviewing the Pocket Palette Travel Set from Etchr Lab. This is how the packaging box looks. By the way, Etchr Lab also sells online art courses on their website. Let's take out the palette. By the way, if you're someone who has many watercolor palettes, I'm not sure if you should continue watching this video because you may be tempted to buy another palette. Magnets, and there are 4 here. These magnets are actually for the other porcelain mini palettes that the company is also selling, and I'll talk more about that later. This is a clamshell design, and this watercolor palette is made with plastic. It's matte textured on the exterior. It's vegan friendly. The cutouts here are misaligned on purpose by design so that you can open the palette easily. So this can be held in hand, I would say quite comfortably because the edges are beveled, so you can hold this quite firmly and it's still comfortable. So there are actually 3 plates inside. Let me just show you the different plates. And there are magnets to hold down the plates and magnets behind the plates to go into the palette. The watercolor palette I have here belongs to an early batch, and I was told by the company that some of the small magnets may come out. For example, if I stick these 2 plates together and I pull them apart, you can see the magnet here is now here. And I was told by the company that they have fixed this manufacturing issue. So if you have the same problem, maybe you may want to put some glue to stick the magnet more permanently. The price of this Pocket Palette Travel Set is US $59, which includes global shipping. And you have the option to buy this together with an additional plate that has 19 wells or 37 wells. This is the plate that can hold 7 half pans, and those are the mixing wells. There are 2 wells here and 6 wells here. So with 7 colors, you can actually have a warm and cool version of yellow, red, and blue. And in the center, maybe you can put a convenience color like green, or in this case, burnt sienna. Now, you may want to put some blue tack between the pen and the plastic so that the pens will not fall out like that, because right now, this is slightly loose. If you look closely, there is a little cutout here, so in the future if your pen is stuck, you can maybe put a screwdriver in and just pry this out. This watercolor palette was developed in collaboration with Stephanie Long, a professional watercolorist based in Oakland, California, and she has spent years experimenting with different ways to store her favorite paints, and she came out with this mini palette. It's a porcelain palette which I have reviewed a few years ago that can store many colors. So this is her latest project with Etchr Lab. When I saw the design with the magnets, I thought it was possible to attach the plates like this to get more mixing area. The magnets are strong, but not that strong. This is meant to be a travel palette, something to be used outdoors. So if I bring these 2 plates out, I would put 1 plate on the ground, and I would probably put the plate with the 2 wells on the ground. Well, this is actually not easy to take out. So if your fingers are big, then the big fingers may not go into this area easily to pull this out. Okay, so here I have 6 wells for mixing and 2 bigger wells which I will put on the ground. Let's see how the colors will mix on the plastic palettes. The reason why I would have the bigger wells on the ground is because I will want to just pour some water here so that I can get a lot of water to clean my brush. Or you can use the big wells to create a big mixture. Okay, so I'm going to, mix some colors here. The wells, I would say, have sufficient depth, so you can put quite a bit of water into the wells. So this is lemon yellow. cerulean blue. I'm not painting anything in particular. I'm just trying to mix the colors on the plastic wells just to see how the water will pool together. And from what I can see, the water and the paint, they do pool together quite nicely. On some palettes, the paint will actually separate like this. Some mixing surfaces, for some reason, will separate or break up the water into little pools or beads. But for this palette, you can see if I mix it, the water will be collected as a single pool. So that's nice. The design of this watercolor palette works fine. I guess the main limitation here is you can only hold 7 colors. So for people who like to have many colors, well, you can only hold 7 colors here. So after painting, let me just clean this up. Let me just dry up the wells first before I keep everything back. If there is still water inside, and you close it, and you have the palette in whichever direction inside your bag, the water is going to leak out because this is not airtight. Weight of this palette is not too heavy. It's not solid plastic throughout. I think these parts here are actually hollow. I actually prefer plastic watercolor palette boxes compared to metal boxes because plastic does not rust. I have several metal boxes as well as plastic ones, and I do prefer the plastic ones more. Ultimately, which design you prefer really comes down to personal preference. Alright, let me know in the comment section below what you think of this design. Would you buy something like this? And if you have the intention to buy this, you can check out the purchase links in the video description below. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next video. Bye!